the feeling of loneliness after 50. We are now in a very special stage of life, a stage that many people believe is peaceful and carefree, but in reality, it brings a mix of emotions. Maybe our children have grown up, started their own families, and are living their own lives. Maybe we've retired and are no longer busy with work, colleagues, or daily appointments. These changes can sometimes make us feel empty. In the morning, we wake up and no one calls us to go to work. In the evening, the house becomes quiet, no sound of children, no lively family dinners like before. And slowly, a feeling that's hard to describe starts to creep in. Loneliness. Some people feel sad, but don't know who to talk to. Some are strong, yet still feel lost in their own homes. In truth, the feeling of loneliness at this age is not uncommon. And the important thing is, we are not alone. Many others are going through the same experience. So, today's video isn't about sadness. It's a warm, gentle conversation so we can find ways together to overcome the feeling of loneliness. So that each day, we can still see how precious life truly is. And that we ourselves still have so much to love and so much life left to live. Why do we feel lonely after retirement? First, let's take a moment to reflect. Why does loneliness often come more easily as we grow older, especially after retirement or when our children have grown up? When we were younger, we had work, a daily routine, and responsibilities toward our children and families. Those things kept us busy and kept our minds busy too. But when retirement comes, that rhythm of life suddenly slows down. One day, no one needs us to wake them up for school. No one asks for a ride to work. No one calls out from another room needing our help. The emptiness isn't just in the space around us. It's in the sense of our role in daily life. Many people have quietly shared, it feels like I've been left behind. Or they say, I'm still healthy, but I don't know what I'm living for anymore. And this feeling is completely normal. When our children grow up and become independent, that is our success. But at the same time, it also opens a new chapter in life, where we must learn how to live for ourselves. Feeling lonely doesn't mean we're weak or don't know how to live. It's simply a signal, a gentle reminder, that it's time to create a new life. A life that suits where we are now, but is still filled with love and meaning. So, how do we overcome loneliness? Here are a few simple, gentle, yet powerful ways that many people have tried and found their lives slowly changing day by day. Number 1. Change the way we think about loneliness. When we hear the word loneliness, most of us immediately think of sadness, emptiness, or being left behind. It's a feeling no one wants. But today, I'd like to invite you to see loneliness from a new perspective, a softer, more positive one. In truth, loneliness is not our enemy. It doesn't come to harm us. Sometimes it appears simply to remind us. It's time to return to ourselves, to take care of our own hearts, something we may have forgotten to do for many years while being busy with work, raising children, or caring for our families. Many of us, from youth to old age, have lived for others, for our spouses, for our children, a whole life spent giving, sacrificing, yet rarely stopping to ask ourselves, am I okay? Am I happy? So if one day you feel lonely, see it as a positive sign, a gentle invitation to pause, take a deep breath, and slow down. Try doing something just for yourself, a warm cup of tea in the early morning, a soft melody in the afternoon, an old book you loved when you were young. Just a little moment like that, and you may find that life still holds many lovely things. We can absolutely be alone without feeling lonely. Because loneliness only exists when we feel abandoned. But when we learn to love ourselves, care for ourselves, and spend time in honest conversation with our own hearts, then being alone becomes the most precious time of all. Sometimes, those quiet moments are when we understand ourselves the most, and from that stillness, a new kind of joy can gently arise, peaceful, calm, and deeply fulfilling. So if today you find yourself alone, don't be afraid. Begin with your thoughts. Tell yourself, I'm not being left behind. I'm simply being given a chance to come home to myself and finally truly live for me, perhaps for the first time in many years. 2. Take the initiative to reconnect with others. After retirement, when we no longer have a busy work environment or daily family conversations, that space in our hearts can slowly grow emptier with time. But the truth is, to fill that space, we don't need anything grand or complicated. Sometimes all it takes is a phone call, a simple message, or an invitation for a cup of tea, and our hearts can feel warm again. Do you remember an old friend you haven't spoken to in a while? A neighbor who always smiles and greets you in the morning? Or a relative you haven't seen in some time? Try reaching out, no need for a big reason. It can be as simple as, I've been thinking of you, or the weather's beautiful today, and I just felt like talking to you. That's all it takes, but it might lead to a meaningful, heartfelt conversation. Besides that, be brave and step outside. There are so many community groups you can join: Tai Chi or exercise clubs, walking groups, dance classes, painting workshops, senior gatherings, or religious activities at temples or churches. By joining, you not only stay active and learn something new, but you'll also meet people your age who share similar interests. New friendships often bloom in these simple shared spaces. And if there's no group like that in your area, why not be the one to start one? It doesn't have to be big. Maybe just a few neighbors walking together in the morning or gathering for tea on weekends. From these small groups, real connections grow. And you may realize you were never truly alone. Perhaps you just hadn't opened your heart yet. As human beings, we are born to connect. Whether we're 20 or 70, we all need someone to talk to, someone to listen, someone to walk beside us. So take one small step, and soon you'll find new doors opening. Doors that lead to warmth, understanding, and companionship, more and more with each passing day. 3. Pursue your personal passions. Don't ever think it's too late at this age. Absolutely not. In fact, this is the most ideal time to follow your interests, because now you're no longer bound by the many responsibilities you once had. All you need is a few simple tools, a small corner of space, and just a little time each day, and that's more than enough to begin. Picture this: a peaceful morning, sunlight gently streaming through the window. You sit quietly, painting a few strokes of watercolor or tending to a blooming flower pot. Birds chirping outside in the garden, soft music playing from a small speaker. Or maybe you're simply writing a few thoughts in an old notebook, as if having a conversation with yourself. When our soul is nourished by these simple, healthy passions, loneliness begins to fade away. And in its place comes a deep sense of connection with ourselves and with the joy of living. You feel more alive. You feel more alive, more whole. Doing what you love makes your heart warm again. No one is ever too old to begin something new. As long as your heart still longs for something, anything, you can begin today. And sometimes, from a small personal passion, you might discover a community, people who share your enthusiasm, your spirit, your way of seeing the world. A personal hobby isn't just a way to pass the time, it's a doorway to happiness, to meaning, and to beautiful, gentle connections that feel deeply personal and fulfilling. Closing. Growing older is not the end. It's a new chapter, gentler and more meaningful. Allow yourself to live joyfully, to connect with others, and to love yourself deeply. If you're feeling a bit empty or lonely, try applying just one or two small things from this video, and I truly believe tomorrow can feel different from today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it helpful. Wishing you good health, warmth, and peace in your heart.